When Donald Trump became president of the United States, and they lost their mind because they couldn't control him, they couldn't bully him, they couldn't get him to bow down to political correctness, and so this is them, stuttering and spamming all over the place like lunatics, trying to get Donald Trump killed, assaulting Trump supporters, and lost their minds. Why do you think Elon Musk left the Democrat Party? Why do you think Tulsi Gabbard left the Democrat Party? Why are so many Democrats like Vernon Jones leaving the Democrat Party? Because this is your Democrat voter right here. Nobody wants to be a part of this psychotic movement anymore.
Whoa, American ideological differences explode as Owen Shroyer and Destiny go head-to-head over democracy, Trump, and everything else in between. Who wins this political culture war showdown? Before we get into this battle of the words, we have just recently reached 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for your support and helping us get the word out there. YouTube is showing me that a little over 2% of my subscribers are watching my content, and I think we can do a little bit better, America. Hit like and subscribe for daily uploads. This is America only.
First of all, what cities are so expensive to live in? Democrat-run cities.
When those cities are expensive, do you acknowledge that those cities produce more economic output for the country than all the red cities? This is what I mean when I say these people don't live in reality. But like, why can't you acknowledge that? Because you'll very quickly say things like, oh, well, there are more homicides in Chicago. Yeah, there's more people that live in Chicago, and Chicago is what makes Illinois all its money. That's where the money comes from, are the blue cities. It's not just blue states that subsidize the existence of red states, which is true. And by the way, all of those governors were so happy for the American Rescue Plan when Biden was there to hand out money to shore up their budgets. But then when you want to talk about expenses and living and all these other things, now you want to talk about how blue cities need to be held responsible, but you don't give them credit for the economic output? It's insane.
It's a nice deflection. So Democrat cities are the most expensive to live in, so I'm glad you at least acknowledge that. And again,
more expensive to live in the U.S. than Uganda as well, right? It is, right?
We live in a constitutional republic. We don't live in a democracy.
What is the contradiction there? What do you think? Hold on. What is a republic and what is a democracy?
And Destiny, yeah, so blue cities may have more of an economic output. They might make more money for the state that they are in. But how many of those laborers and workers, how many of them are foreign-born or immigrants? And just like Owen said, I mean, they are the most expensive cities to live in. So, you know, coming from your socialist standpoint, don't you care about the workers? Isn't it hard for them to get by with the little crumbs that they receive from these jobs that are just boosting the economy? You guys just want a slave labor force. That's all it is.
A democracy is where a bunch of lunatics like you can vote away my rights. A democracy is where 3 wolves and a sheep vote what's for dinner.
Is that Article 5 or Article 6? I don't know what part of the Constitution.
So you asked what a democracy was.
So a democracy is when multiple people vote. A republic is when you have representatives that do things for you. We are a representative democracy. That's why we're a constitutional republic. We are both a republic, which just means you're not a monarchy, and a democracy. This idea that we must be a republic because I'm a Republican and we're not a democracy because you're a Democrat is, come on.
So again, we live in a constitutional republic where we have unalienable rights given to us by God, the Creator. Democrats don't want you to know that because they want to be able to vote away your rights, like they want to be able to vote away your Second Amendment rights, vote away your First Amendment rights, and they'll go right down the line, okay? So that's why these people love democracy. Because
when we say vote away your rights, are we talking about abortion that we lost to a conservative Supreme Court? Are we talking about the Second Amendment when Donald Trump did the bump stock ban? I'm sorry, how were your gun rights attacked under Biden?
It was a bad ban.
And they came under Donald Trump, so why would he be the guy, no offense, but a liberal from New York, which is what Donald Trump is, that's the guy that you want defending your gun rights? Tim Walz and Kamala Harris both owned firearms. Walz is a hunter. When was the last time you saw Trump with a firearm? I watched Roseanne, it was Roseanne, I think, with a firearm, right? Where she almost killed herself on a Twitter video with one? Jesus Christ.
Well, you guys are the democratic socialists. I mean, we've already seen what Mamdani has done this summer, telling people to set their air conditioning units to 78 degrees in the middle of a heat wave. Like, that's all democracy leads to. It's just like Owen said, I forget the number, but he said it's like 2 wolves and 1 sheep voting for what's for dinner. I mean, that's a perfect representation of what democracy is. It's a tyranny of the majority. And I mean, you can go back to ancient Greece, Plato's cycles, you know, after every single democracy comes a tyranny. And so you give everybody the right to choose, and then you have all these influencers out there and organizations that are trying to shift the narrative and get more people on their side. Like, people are just dumb. Like, not talking about my viewers, of course, but yeah, people are just very, very dumb and very impressionable. And yeah, the socialists are the ones that are leading them right off the cliff.
In the Bill of Rights, where is abortion mentioned?
Do you want to get into the constitutional legal construction of the penumbra of rights that are invoked when you try to get like the right to privacy out of the 14th?
You claim there's a right to an abortion. It just doesn't exist.
I didn't claim there was a right to an abortion. Technically, the abortion right comes from a right to privacy, but we'd have to go over Casey and Roe, and I'm sure that you're not familiar with any of those Supreme Court cases, or probably any Supreme Court case. But the reality is that before you had a protected right to seek an abortion, now you don't. Republicans took that from you. Before you had the right to own a bump stock, Donald Trump banned bump stocks through executive action, by the way.
Which lost at the Supreme Court.
Which what?
Lost at the Supreme Court.
Well, that hasn't stopped him in the past from going back over and over again to try to get cases tossed or to try to get favorable rulings.
I don't live in a...
Yeah, get wrecked, Lestony. I mean, you literally look like Lil Dicky's lesbian trans brother. Like, dude, I can't believe anybody takes this guy serious. And he looks like Squidward with a beard. Like, come on, man, update your look.
Colt, I said I have disagreements with Donald Trump. So you can attack me on Trump's policies that I disagree with. That's not a win for you.
I agree I can't win attacking on Trump's policies because he has none. I mean, what am I mean, yeah, what can you give me what is one Trump policy that he's running on besides 20% tariffs?
Secure border.
That's not a policy. That's like
taxes.
an idea. That's the concept of an idea of a policy.
Stopping war.
Okay.
What are Harris policies that are so great?
Well, the three that she listed immediately is she wanted to give a $50,000 rollover deduction to new startups for small businesses. So
that was Trump's idea?
What?
Trump did that. When he was
maybe
president.
Maybe he should have spoke it. I don't know if he's too senile now or he's lost the ability to do it. What?
You just weren't watching.
I was watching. Unfortunately, I watched too much Trump. That was one. A second thing she wanted to do was expand the child tax credit, which was incredibly successful under Biden.
Also a Trump policy.
It wasn't. That's why it happened under Biden. And it's why the Republicans initially fought against it. Are we going to say that pre-existing conditions in the ACA was a Trump policy now as well? I know that he wants to take care of that one. And then the third thing that Kamala Harris said is she wanted to do a $15,000 first-time home buyer credit to people that were buying homes for the first time. Donald Trump said he wanted
for illegal immigrants.
I'm so curious. How do you think these tax credits work?
You do realize that they give money to illegal immigrants to buy houses?
I don't think you know how any of this works because I think you were probably born a rich kid and you never bought a house on an FHA loan before. So I had a tax credit when I bought a house. The way that these work is you apply for these refundable tax credits when you get them at the end of the year when you've qualified for them. An illegal immigrant definitionally doesn't file taxes because they don't have social security numbers. They don't get money back from the government. So how would an illegal immigrant qualify for a tax credit? Again, this doesn't make any sense. It's like the hurricane
I agree.
machines.
It doesn't make any sense. This is the Democrat policy. I completely agree. It doesn't make any sense at all. So
Where are these lazy people that are coming over and not working and not getting jobs, getting the money for homes?
Dude, like, have you not heard about all of the upper scale hotels in cities like New York where they only house immigrants? I mean, they basically turned into refugee camps and they don't even allow the public to rent out rooms anymore. I don't have any of the names of them, but yeah, they're definitely out there. Just quick Google search and so many programs are out there for illegals to help them get housing, to help them get on the welfare system. Yeah, it's out there, dude. Just step outside your bubble.
U.S. government.
They pay them for the homes too? Then why even give them the tax credit? Why not just give them the homes outright? What
Don't
the
give them
fuck
any
are we talking
ideas.
about?
They might do that next. Who ran the insurrection?
Donald Trump and the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and everybody that broke into the Capitol and delayed the certification of the vote.
Do you really believe that?
Was the vote certification delayed?
What is an insurrection?
Wait, was the vote certification delayed on January 6th?
No, it went through. They certified. Did Trump?
Hold on. I'm so sorry. I don't know who you're answering right now. Was the vote certification delayed? Was Congress called out of session on January 6th?
Yes, I think for a couple hours.
For several hours.
So by the end of the day,
why were they called out of session?
So by the end of the day,
you see how we can't live in reality? You see how this doesn't work? The country doesn't function when you have people
if you want
that
to go
refuse
back
to
and call
accept.
this an insurrection,
The craziest thing is it's all on video. We've seen all of this.
So
None of this is a mystery.
Tell me what an insurrection is. Just define it for me.
I don't have to define it for you. I'm just asking simple questions. On January 6th, there was a certification of the vote. That vote was disrupted by violence.
All right,
If
all
you
right,
want to get into what
okay.
an insurrection is, you could say that it was a crowd of people that had gathered with a common purpose to use the means of violence or intimidation to disrupt an official federal proceeding, such as the certification of the 2020 vote, the outcome of that election, which is why it would probably qualify as an insurrection. You guys filmed this
Kamala
from start
has
to
changed
finish.
the story.
We can
Kamala
watch
has
you
changed
guys
the story.
cheering for it. We can watch you cheering 1776. What was
I know
1776?
you hate 17.
Okay, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. You want to call that an insurrection? Like, you guys literally want to overthrow the government right now because Trump is allegedly a fascist. What would you call that if you acted upon that? And if January 6th was an insurrection, it was the calmest insurrection I've ever seen. I mean, much calmer than the Summer of Love, in 2020.
76.
Wait, I'm
I know
curious.
you hate
What
that.
was 1776? What was that?
That was the founding of the country.
Which was it? What was the event? What would you call that?
When we overthrew royalty and created
Against the government, would you call
created
it
a constitutional republic.
Would you call that an insurrection?
No.
No. 1776, the revolutionary. You wouldn't call that an
So
insurrection?
are you pro-insurrection now? You just babble and stammer so much, I can't figure out where you're at. Tell me what kind of an insurrection, when an emergency notice goes out to go home, everybody goes home and calls it a day. Is that...
What kind of an insurrection ends when the leader tells his followers to go home? All of them.
Perfect.
That's kind of how it works. That's how a cult works.
So there was no insurrection. Trump didn't want to overthrow the government. Thank you for admitting that. That wasn't too hard to get out of
We
you.
can't even follow basic logic.
No, you just proved
1776
my
was an
point.
insurrection. It was a
Now
revolution.
you're deflecting again to 1776.
I'm not deflecting.
So
I'm referring
Trump wanted to
specifically.
insurrect
it's just
the
funny that you
government,
stand
but he
outside
told his
saying
followers to go home.
1776 and go, well, is this really an insurrection? Well, I don't know. What were we cheering for? The Star Spangled Banner? The saddest thing is that as much as I can't stand conservatives because I'm a liberal/progressive, at the very least, I felt like we were all kind of in the same boat. We were all kind of like the same country, and we were all presenting at least a unified front to the rest of the world. That as much as conservatives and Democrats might have hated each other, at least we were all Americans at the end of the day.
And when
right?
did that change?
When did that change? Well, a big change.
When Donald Trump became president of the United States. And they lost their mind because they couldn't control him, they couldn't bully him, they couldn't get him to bow down to political correctness, and so this is them, stuttering and spamming all over the place like lunatics, trying to get Donald Trump killed, assaulting Trump supporters, and lost their minds. Why do you think Elon Musk left the Democrat Party? Why do you think Tulsi Gabbard left the Democrat Party? Why are so many Democrats like Vernon Jones leaving the Democrat Party? Because this is your Democrat voter, right here. Nobody wants to be a part of this psychotic movement anymore. Nobody.
Psychotic movement when you guys
Yeah,
literally
psychotic.
tried, you guys invaded the Capitol.
Your side believes in trans
who
kids.
wants to
Your
trans
side
kids?
wants to pay for trans
Most
surgeries
people
in
aren't
the
okay
prisons.
with it. You guys
Your
won't even
side lets
acknowledge
in
what
10
you've
million
done.
illegal immigrants.
Oh
Your
my
side starts
God.
wars all over the world. Our side is the party of sanity and the party of common sense. And if you can't see that in this debate, then you're never going to see it.
You're never gonna. The party of sanity is the party that doesn't believe in dinosaurs and thinks that we create hurricanes.
What are you talking about?
Do you believe in dinosaurs? You think
What
they're
is this
real?
dinosaurs?
Wait,
What are you talking about dinosaurs?
Do you think the dinosaurs
Do you
ever
play
roam
with
the earth?
dinosaur
Do you
toys?
think the
Why do you
dinosaurs?
bring this up?
Do you think the dinosaurs?
Yeah, I believe in dinosaurs, Destiny. I'm looking at a vaginasaur right now.
Is that a
Ever roam the
dinosaur
earth?
on your necklace right there? What
Do you
is
ever
that?
think? Do you think the dinosaurs roam the earth?
I'm not here to talk about dinosaurs.
It's insanity. It's crazy to me.
You know what? You're a political dinosaur. You're stuck in the past. This is the future right
You don't
here.
even acknowledge the outcome of the last fucking election. How am I the one stuck in the past?
You want to know what happens when you speak truth to power? Everything this guy just said. I've been censored, I've been imprisoned, I've been assaulted, I've had my businesses shut down. This guy's dealt with nothing except cucking to his wife's boyfriend.
Damn.
I see those 60 days in federal prison weren't kind to you. I'm sorry that you weren't able to do the podcast from prison like you wanted to. I know that's still upsetting you a lot. Only one of us up here has been arrested for trying to be a part of a coup or an insurrection against the United States. Only one of us up here hates this country. And I think it's pretty obvious it's the guy that doesn't even acknowledge the results of the last election. One of the most important foundational pieces of the United States.
So
which
stop
is the
stealing
peaceful,
them. So
which is
stop
the-
stealing them.
Which is
Yeah, Destiny, stop stealing them. It's all your fault. I mean, you guys were saying the 2016 election was rigged, so, I mean, things swing back and forth. Well, if you like videos like this, make sure you hit like and subscribe. We just watched Owen Shroyer completely wreck Destiny. Just had nothing to say, just babbling on and on, talking about dinosaurs. Well, YouTube is showing me that more and more of my subscribed viewers are starting to check out the channel. Really appreciate that. We have finally surpassed 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you share this with your friends, help get the message out. I'm dropping videos every single day. And as always, it's not America first or America last, but America only. And I'll catch you on the next one.